crash and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I wanted to talk about Bomb 20's field manual. This was released on DHR way back in 1998. And this, I would categorize this as being just as like hard and heavy as everything else that DHR had done. But I found that this record sort of had like a really good sense of humor. I liked how it used a number of samples from old shows and movies, such as, I remember the A-Team's on here specifically. And I like the feel of this album. It's like I said, it's more playful, I guess, and whereas it's completely hardcore and it puts the hammer down endlessly and it hits just as hard and heavy as everything else DHR had put out up until this point, especially considering that this was released right around when like Atari Teenage Riot was releasing all of their like classic albums, and the label was like red hot and they were signed to Grand Royal. And so this album is sort of from the classic era of DHR, and it definitely fits into that category. But at the same time, despite it being really hard and really heavy, it's also really fun. And it's like I said, there's a real like sense of play here where it doesn't take itself too seriously, and yet it takes the production seriously, of course, and it takes the songwriting seriously, the structuring, the arranging. All of that is done with a lot of heart and a lot of focus. But at the same time, this record feels more loose, and it feels more like it was more organic, and it was just sort of like it happened as it happened. Whereas you'll find with a lot of the times with like programmed electronic music, everything feels very structured, like there's like very set, like a set boundary almost in every meaning of the word, where you have to adhere to this because everything is quantized and everything is adhering to a tempo, and if you shift the tempo, it's right down to the millisecond, and then you shift it back to another tempo, and everything is very uniformed and very like militarized almost. But on here with this, I found that it was, like I said, there's more of a sense of it being sort of come as you are, we'll see what happens. And it really, really works for this record, because whereas it still fucking hammers down a bunch, it does sort of have that more honest sense of let's just see where the music takes us. And it's sort of like they let go of the needing to quantize everything and sort of needing to structure everything in a sequencer, which I'm sure was still done for this album, of course, but it just doesn't necessarily feel like that. It feels like it was recorded more like live, maybe, I guess. But then again, you could argue, I'm sure all of DHR stuff was recorded live too. But this one, I really felt it, whereas with other releases from them from this period, I felt that it was they were very structured, and they adhered to a very rigid set of like hardcore rules. This didn't, even though I'm sure somehow it did. I just didn't feel it coming from this. This felt like it had more of a sense of fun, and it was more playful. But yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to say. Fucking Leatherface hit me in the back of the head, and it hurt. So I'm going to go. So thank you so much for sitting with me while I discussed Bomb 20's Field Manual. Came out from DHR back in '98. If you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody else. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button, because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.